Alright, guys, so there are definitely a lot of things that I wish I would have known before I started playing Need for Speed Heat. For example, what to do first, which sort of races do I need to do first? Do I go into the nighttime races or do I go into the daytime racing? Although you need to take both of those side by side, but at a certain moment, I think it would have been best if I would have just gotten straight into the nighttime racing, gotten all my RP points collected, so I could have, gotten to a point where I was better suited for better upgrades, better cars, because I definitely made a lot of money. As you can already see, I have close to 71 million in my account right now, but that's a different story and a story for a different time. But then again, I wish I would have known a lot of things before I started playing, so I'll try to summarize some of those before I jump into some gameplay or other tactics that you guys should always keep a lookout for. So, for example, starter cars, let's talk about that. So, I got stuck with the most stupidest choice that I was given. I thought the M3 Evolution model would have been a good choice for me, considering I like tuner cars and it's such a legendary car out in the real world that I thought it just might be the best choice that I might be getting. So this is the ride that I started with. I never got to a point where I upgraded this fully. So you see, it has some supplements, just one or two elite plus parts, and a couple of elite parts on it. And even if I put in a different engine into this, or I go ahead and just pop in all the ultimate parts, it's never going to be good enough to really compete with the top tier cars in the game. So on the other hand, there is a different starter car that I could have chosen when I was starting to play, and that would have definitely been the Nissan. And there was that tuner car, that beautiful tuner car that we get at the very beginning. So if I wish I would have chosen that, that would have been a totally different story, I tell you, because there have been a lot of things that I've noticed once I completed the game, and then I started to buy all the cars in the game and started to play around with the different builds and different engine swaps and the way these things handle. So that would have been just amazing. So, for example, let me just quickly show you Nissan, which the car that I'm talking about. Let me find it. I have close to 106 cars, so you know it's a difficult thing finding the car that you're looking for all the time. Oh, there it is. Even this one is not fully upgraded, but it's still somewhat upgraded. I never used it during my campaign missions or anything, but yeah, it is what it is. I'll just pop in an ultimate plus exhaust onto this and put in some good old big boy NOS. To bring the NOS up to 10, I'll put in track suspension. Oh, it's already on track suspension. Gonna give it some good brakes. I do think that I have an engine swapped into this one, so this is pretty fast already. But let me just show you what I mean when I say that the other stock cars, the starter cars that you get in the game, are much better at things. Let me just go into the engine choices here. Okay, so I have fully upgraded the stock engine here, so you can see the stats. It's at 566 horsepower, but then again, I have an option to pop in a V6, another V6, V8, another V8, a V6, a forged four-cylinder. I guess this is the stock engine that comes with the car, but it's a forged one. Then another flat six that will give us north of 1,000 horsepower, a V6 with the similar stats, and a V8. So you see, there are a lot of different options I can go on for this car, and trust me when I say this, this is going to easily compete with all of the best cars in the game, and you won't really have a problem. So let's just quickly go ahead and I'll say let's pop in a V8. Why not? Let's fully upgrade this and let's see what the stats look like. We were like 350, 360 on the stock engine on our rating. We are already close to 400. So by the time we get to the turbos, I suppose, yep, we are already 400 plus. We haven't even touched the exhaust and the turbo. So you see what I mean? The potential of upgrading your starter car. That is a very crucial thing in the game. A turbo gives me less torque but more horsepower, of course. But I'll go with the dual turbos. For most of my videos that I do on my channel, in which I try out different builds, I usually go for a single turbo setup because it gives me the high-end power with the more horsepower added. But for most of my cars, I go with the dual turbo setups. You may ask why. The simple answer to that is because it gives me more power during turning and the mid ranges. So a single turbo setup is basically going to boost you right at the top of your rev range. Whenever you're close to like 6,000 or 7,000 RPM, it's going to really give you the push. But when you are coming out of a corner, you might get thrown out of boost and your car might end up getting slow. I never usually go for a supercharger setup because you know, turbos are, in my mind, much better alternatives if you need boost. So I always go with a dual turbo setup. So let's go with that on this car as well. And then let's pop in a big boy NOS tank. And we're pretty much done. We have close to 1,000 horsepower and 2.47 seconds, 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, a top speed of close to 380. What more can you ask for from a stock starter car? If you can upgrade your starter car to this level, why would you even purchase any other car? Let's just hop into the night time and see what's happening outside in the world. Let's go mess around with some cops and see how this car drives. There's a lot of potential, of course. You don't need to spend big money to complete the game. The game has this sort of dynamics that it allows you to actually make the best of your situation just by, you know, trying on different builds for different cars. So you can already see this is a pretty fast car. I can feel it. It's very nimble on its feet. You can chuck it into corners. It won't say no. But of course, on the handling department, it might not handle as well as some of the best cars do, like the RSR or a F40 or a Pagani or any of the top tier cars that you can get in this game. To see, it's very lightweight and it's really quick. Let's see what the top speed on this is if I manage to get a reading out of it. If I don't hit any of the cars, which I usually do, because the traffic is really dumb in this game. They just brake in the middle of intersections every time they see you coming. It's like they freeze every time you're coming. Let's hit the NOS right here and see what sort of a top speed are we dealing with here. See, 380 plus is a top speed with NOS, and of course it's going to hold its ground quite steadily without the NOS at about 379, 380, or if you are more familiar with the miles per hour situation, so I would say it's going to stay at about let's say 240 miles an hour pretty easily. Let's just quickly go ahead and do a race as well while we're out at night. Let's see how this car fares with some competition. Now everyone is way below our performance rating. They will be somewhere around 340 to 300, 340. But then again, we're 400 plus, so it won't really be much of a competition. But we can still have a fair bit of an idea how fast this car can really do in a race. Sure, bro. I'll finish first. I'll try. if I don't crash or something weird happens. Let's go. Of course, everyone is faster on the launch. They have all-wheel drive, better transmissions. Plus, of course, these are supercars, man. Even hypercars are in here. Oh, the Corvette was leading the pack. So you see, we're already at our top speed, 378. Just chilling, going about our day. Nothing really close. Constantly building on a gap, huge gap, I would say, not just a gap, on the second place opponent here in this race. It's not even bad at turning, I would say. It can handle really well. Plus, in the hands of a good driver, I would say, it would handle even better. For someone like me, of course, there will be trouble. I'm not the best player in the game. In no way I would say that I'm even good at it. I'm just having fun, enjoying the game. But yeah, in the beginning of the game when I started playing, I used to prefer daytime racing over nighttime racing. So I used to spend a lot of time in daytime racing, earning bank. Then when I got really bored from my car, okay, I should have braked there. But doesn't matter. We have like a 1 kilometer long gap on the second placer. Anyways, so I was saying that I used to prefer playing daytime races because it was easier, of course, no traffic, no cops, plus you get a lot of money, easy money I would say. And I used to hate nighttime racing because A, my car wasn't really fast, and B, I just hated the traffic, to be honest. The cars are always popping in the middle of the road. Cops spawn every time you start a race. There are some specific patterns that are followed in this game. Cops spawning at the start of or at the end of a race is just pretty common. It just happens all the time. You don't even notice it happening sometimes, but it always happens. Unless and until you just change your paths quickly. So I would say that we should go ahead and try this car out with a higher performance race or some sort. I guess if I can find one. Close by, 350 is the best we can find. Oh, there's a 400. Let's go. Let's definitely try that one and see how does this car manage to do against a top tier competition in this game. I would say we would win quite easily, but then again, you never know. We're at the most difficult settings you can find in the game, hardest difficulty. And it's not always easy racing during the night. You make one mistake, one wrong turn, one bad accident, or one bad jump like this one right here. It can happen within a race. So you might end up in a situation where your competition just leaves you for days. And it has happened more than I can remember. Because honestly, the competition is tough in this game. Okay, there's a cop right there. We'll probably end up in a cop chase here. Well, let's just... Yep. Bye, cop. See you in the afterlife. Well, damn. Alright, so this is the race. It's a 400 level race. I've attempted it twice. Best time, of course, in an RSR of 351. Let's see what I can do with this car. This little rocket bunny, pocket rocket. 351 is the time to beat, so I think I should be close to 4 minutes or some seconds, I would say, if things go right and if I don't crash too much. But let's see how it goes. I'm not really sure how close I can come to my own best time on this race. I haven't played it much. Because there are some specific races that I do for the daytime, and those are usually the money-making races that I do. Alright, we're in the last place as expected at the start of the race. No problem. Oh, okay. Stop hitting me, please. Oh man, seriously? If these guys could just stop hitting my car, I would have been really close to the top place right now. But, you know, shit happens. No problem, I'll catch up. Or at least I'll try. Yeah, sure, leave them and start chasing me now. Wow.
I'm hunting down a Nissan 180SX. It's gonna be fun. Okay, y'all, we have an officer in need of some jawbreakers dealing with a lawbreaker. Get moving, everyone.
There's the top place. Racer right there. Well, damn. What's he driving? Can't even see that. You see what I mean? The traffic. It's just standing there for no obvious reason. There's a P1 right there. And I don't think we'll be able to catch the top place right now from this point. Or maybe I will, you never know. Maybe he ends up messing up too. Alright, 360 meters ahead of me, and let's see what happens here. Oh shit. Almost died there. If I would have hit that wall right there, I would have been dead for sure. See, I'm faster than a P1. Who would have known? Very, very bad place for Lost, I would say. Should have seen the map. So you see, there's a lot of things going on at nighttime racing. You have to make sure that you are going in the right direction, you're seeing the map, you're seeing the road ahead, you are evading the traffic, so you have to do a lot of things side by side just to, you know, keep up with the competition at night. But, you see, I'm keeping up with the P1 pretty good right now. The top placer really got lucky, I would say. Oh, shit. If he hasn't hit any traffic or, you know, didn't come across cops or the cops didn't mess around with him. If this guy would just stop hitting me, man, seriously. I think we have a good enough long straight road here to hit the NOS, yeah. And we missed a checkpoint. We didn't miss the checkpoint, thankfully. And the best part about the game, I would say, is that you don't need to finish first in order to, you know, complete a race. Like in the previous installments of the game, you had to finish first every damn time to just, you know, make progress. But in this game, you don't have to finish first. A top 3 finish is sometimes recorded as a race done, or for some night races like the high heat races, you even finish, even if you finish like somewhere around 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, you still get a volatile part, which is really nice. Didn't really used to happen in the previous installments of the game. Let's just quickly go to our nearest safe house. Change the car, get out in the daytime, and I'll show you guys some daytime races that I really love to do and how I usually make bank. Don't spawn right here, man. Don't. And there's another one. Let's see if we can crash him out as well. Yeah, we can. Good. Don't need a car chase right now. There are some really, really easy races in the game which give you good bank. Why is this cop parked at my house? Oh, he's parked at the gas station. Let's see if we can sneak into our house once the cop on the road goes away. Go away, go away, yep, go away, go away. Oh, we can, nice.
Even when you're in the league, it's never easy.
It's never easy, yeah, sure.
Hey, park it up.
Alright, let me show you my favorite car in the game. If you have seen any of the previous videos that I've made, you probably already know. But let me pull up my favorite car in the game. No, it's not the RSR, but I like this car, but it's definitely not my favorite car in the game. Let me find it in this huge garage that I have. Here you are. So this car right here has to be my favorite car in the game. It's easily comparable to the RSR, both handling wise and speed wise. It accelerates really fast. For performance, I'll just show you what am I using in here. I have done an engine swap on this because it comes with this 2.9 liter V8, and it doesn't really give you what you need to get it up to speed in this game. So I went on with the ahead and put in a 4.4 liter V8 into this, so it's really a monster now. Yeah, funny, it's you can even swap in a four-cylinder hybrid engine. That would be just stupid. Anyways, for auxiliary parts, yeah, most definitely. For the high heat races, you need these parts. Whatever suits you. I never go with these nitrous refills. Don't really use nitrous in the game, apart from certain situations. Or never used a kill switch jammer as well. I love the repair kit. It gives you two remote repairs all the time. She thick boy. Hi. Hey, good to have you here. And for the passive one, I used the damage reduction one, and definitely helps a lot. Your car can take a lot more beating than it usually does. Plus, you have a lot of other choices, radar disruptions, reinflatable tires. Never really go on spike strips. You can easily avoid them, so this just doesn't make any sense for me. Damage increase, well, for SUVs you can use this because they're already a lot durable more than these cars are. So you can just increase the damage just to get rid of all the cops that you have, nitrous duration, extra nitrous power, blah blah blah. Never really use those. I go for these two all the time. And let me just quickly show you some of the races that I like to do during the daytime. At least once I'm done with the game, which races I've been doing a lot. Because money making is something that is really quite easy in this game. I would say there are a lot of glitches and stuff where you can just keep on taking jumps and respawning back and keep repeating those until you get to a point where you're satisfied with the amount of money you made. So the first race I would say it has to be this one right here, the resort circuit. So it's the number one reason I like to do this one is because it's really close by to my garage. Every time you get out of your garage during the daytime, it's right there, so you get about 50k out of this. Once you're done with this, what I do is I go straight over here to do Sonic. Gives you a good 71k. Once Sonic ends, it brings you to this one directly without any movement. Once you're through with Sonic, you're here. You quickly do this, it's 65 grand right there. So all in all, if you run this scheme, these three races for an hour, you do these three races, jump back to the garage, step out of the garage again into daytime racing, go back to the first race, and do all of these three over and over again just for an hour, you get 1,000,000. Boom, right there. You can do these two as well, but it's just an overkill, I would say. These two pay you much more money out of those all these races. So I just quickly go and do these races. Plus, you don't need to upgrade the cars fully, to be honest, in order to beat the competition. I'll just show you with this example right here. I have a 400 plus rated car right here. It's fully upgraded, all the Ultimate Plus parts, everything is fully upgraded. I honestly didn't need it because all of the other cars here are 400 plus. Let me show you what I do with them. Like, I'll be lapping these guys by the end of this race. Almost all of them. You see, second place, first place, no problem at all. I'm catching up with them like it's nothing. It's a piece of cake. Both are P1s, not a slow car by any means. So just like that, boom, I'm ahead of them. Now I'll just keep on increasing my lead. Of course, if I don't mess up, which I do quite often, to be honest. But still, if I don't mess up, I'll continue to build on my lead continuously. And considering that I'm at the hardest difficulty of the game, doing a 400 plus race, that's kind of disappointing, I would say. Shit, here we go again. But then again, it's easy money. You don't need to spend a lot of money to upgrade your cars fully. You see, number 12 is right there. I lapped him right now. The other guys are just right in front of me. I'll be catching up to all of them within this lap, I hope. 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th. So basically, you see, let me show you. This is number 1 and number 2. The second and third place behind me. And I'm like 25% way off the whole track behind them to lap them again. So you don't really need to upgrade your cars fully. I've bested the best of the competition in this game with a 370 rated or 360 rated car. I was playing with either my F40 or I was using the DLC car, the McLaren F1. Because of course, growing up, that was a postcard in my bedroom. So how can I even ignore that? So anyways, these were just a couple of things that I would have wanted to put it out there for anyone who's about to start doing these races, or who's new at the game, or who's feeling any trouble completing the game. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. If you want to see which build is best for your favorite car in the game, I've done almost all the cars. I have 106 cars, and I've built each and every single one to the maximum of their specs. So you can easily find all the cars in the game in my garage or in my videos, I would say, on YouTube. I've uploaded those within the last 1 month. I just started off uploading on this channel. So if you found this video interesting or helpful, sub to the channel would be great. Please leave a comment if you want me to do any specific sort of videos for the future, or if there's any content that you would like to see on my channel. And for now, I would like to say goodbye to y'all while I go around and mess with the cops during the day. Have a good one, y'all.